There was a video game that came out. It wasn't Donkey Kong Bonanza. It wasn't Mario Kart World. It was Earthion by Yuzo Koshiro.
Yes.
Of Ancient Corp. Oh, is it on one of your screens there?
Yeah, it's on mine behind me.
Yeah, so this came out for Steam, but it was developed for the Genesis. They have not yet shipped Genesis cartridges, though they plan to in the future. They also say that they'll never release it just as a software ROM, which what do you think, EJ? I think this is a mistake.
I think it's a mistake. They are gonna in 2026. I think is because limited run games is at least publishing the physical. I don't know about the digital. I don't understand exactly what limited run games does, but I know that they're handling like the physical copies of the Switch and stuff like that, and the Sega Genesis cart will be in 2026. And right now it's on Steam. I think they must be the publisher, right?
Yeah, right now it's only on Steam. I think they intend to bring it to Switch and maybe others. And that's cool and all, but if you're going to go through all the trouble and a lot of the appeal of the thing, it was developed for a Genesis. Look, like the people who are excited about this have EverDrives, okay? Let's just be real.
Yeah.
It's $20 on Steam. I bought it on Steam because it's a cool game, and the guy, Yuzo's out there tweeting about like, please don't rip the ROM, because there is a ROM circulating. He's like, please don't do that. We're gonna release it on cartridge, but I'm like, so I split the baby here. I bought it to support him, and I grabbed this ROM so I could actually play it on my EverDrive because I want to play it on my fucking EverDrive. It's the way I want to play this game. It's important to me. I'm putting that EverDrive to work, and boy, does this game look great on. I have, as we all know, the Panasonic flat screen tube television.
Right. Yes, and I also somehow played it on a tube television. Somehow. Please buy the game. It is very impressive. My goodness, is it impressive.
It's fucking cool. And I don't even like shmups.
No. And it is very much in that kind of R-type style where you're a ship and you like blow stuff up, you collect circles, and they give you power-ups.
Mostly horizontal. No, the very few like vertical stages.
Yeah, it's mostly going left to right. But there is an up to down section.
I haven't beaten it yet, but I got to like stage 4 maybe. I got pretty far.
I threw it on easy and I just blew through the whole thing. There's 8 stages.
Oh, you beat it?
Yeah, I beat it. I don't know if there's extra content on normal or whatever. I don't even know. Like, yeah, on easy it's pretty easy. It's like your shield like fills up like pretty quick. So there's like a life bar, so you're not just dead in one hit.
Wouldn't you say it's more like a Sega CD game than a Genesis game?
Yeah, it's if you told me that it was just an indie game on the PC, like I would be like, oh, of course that can't work on a Sega Genesis, but it does. It's right. Fucking crazy.
And that's why I think it's really disappointing to not lead with that. Because that's like one of the most impressive things about it. And it's for enthusiasts. It's for Sega enthusiasts. So this guy, Yuzo, for those who don't know, one of, if not the most influential composer and programmer for the Sega and, for video games in general. Tell me if you heard of any of these. Streets of Rage, Beyond Oasis, Revenge of Shinobi, ActRaiser, the 8-Bit Sonics. How do you pronounce it? Ys? Y-S?
Yeah, East. I think it's East. I've only heard like Jason say it, so that's where I get
it. Yeah, he did a big review of it.
In 2005, GameSpot user
Goose Prime
wrote that if you like Zelda 2, then you already love Ys 3. You just don't know it yet.
And yeah, he founded Ancient, so he's both composer and game developer. Very impressive guy. And very cool that he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make another Sega game. I'm going to go back to the glory days. I think one of the coolest things about the game, the reason is because I don't like shmups. Why don't I like shmups? I'll tell you why. I turn it on, I go, wow, this is a feast for the eyes. Wow, this music is cool. This is kind of fun. And I get shot. And then I go, and my ship blows up, and that's the end of me. And I got maybe 2 more lives. Wouldn't you say? Normally 2 more lives. And I try. And maybe I get through one boss, maybe. Thunder Force 4, whatever the game might be. I do my best. I enjoy it to a degree. There's even, what was that? What's that game? KO Flying Squadron for the Sega CD. That's another one.
Yeah.
I die in that one too.
Yeah, you die, yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, well, thanks anyway. And I don't really enjoy the games. This thing addresses all my problems.
Yeah.
There's an easy mode. At least I played it on easy mode.
I played it on easy. I was a baby.
I'm not playing it on hard mode.
Then there's another mode, like it's like Hot Shots or something like that. I'm not playing that one. That's after
No, I'll pay Yuzo to not give me that one. Things I loved about the game. When you get shot, you don't instantly die, assuming it's a weakish shot. Your shield goes down, and if it goes all the way down, you blow up. But your shield will regenerate when you're in the clear. So you always have a fighting chance. This is what's called playing a video game. They call it playing a game.
That's why I never really got into Contra, is because it's just like, boom, you're dead. And you're just like, oh, great, thank you.
Great. It's just this gauntlet of like, can you like completely vibe with this game so much that you don't die? Or I'm like, well, that's not really a game. That's more like mastering a game. You know, like it's to me the gameplay, the play is like, oh, I have like a fighting chance. I'm incentivized to continue. You know. Yeah. Multiple gun slots. Did you play with your 8-bit dough?
No, I just played with like a PC controller. So
yeah, I played with the whatever you call it.
I played with this. It's a iBuffalo classic USB gamepad. I've had it for like 15 years.
Nice. Well, I had the 6-button Sega, and it felt great on that. It was truly excellent. And you get 3 different kinds of shots, and you can swap those out, and the different buttons are mapped per different kind of shot. So you also have options for how you're going to kind of like navigate the level. I like that. That adds an element of gameplay. The sprite scaling, like when the ship does that big animation, like when it starts a level and when it completes a level. I've never seen anything like that on a Sega Genesis. I can't think of one.
Yeah, it's I've never seen that before. It looks really cool. Like it looks almost 3D. It must be just like a bunch of sprites like strung together to make it look 3D. Some of the enemies do it too. So when they fly in, they like fly in from the front, and you go in. It's very sad. I think all the like, guns are satisfying because there's different there's like a spread gun like usual, and there's like a big powerful laser. There's a bunch of different ones you get, and they're all pretty useful and they're all pretty satisfying. So I like to switch between them. But yeah, and there's big bosses, and I think the worlds are cool too. It's not just like space or like inside an alien or something that they usually did with R-Type, but it's a lot like a ruined cityscape on Earth, and going into like a lava level, or there's like an organic-y inside level that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's firing on all cylinders. This is like one of the most impressive looking space shooters I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and I like that you can interact with the environment. So, like, do you remember one of those early bosses where he would like reform a shield, and then you had to shoot his shields down so that you could then attack him, and then he would regenerate a shield. So, like, there's definitely a strategy to that. That kind of goes beyond like dodge the dots, you know. Or there were some other ones like where you had to shoot down bits of rock so you could continue, and there was you could probably name shmups that have all of, like this shmup has that element and this shmup has that element, but this kind of combines all the best of them, in my opinion. One thing that's interesting is it of course, any new game that's released, a newly developed Sega game has a huge advantage of they can make way bigger carts.
Right. Yeah. I think this is 8 megabytes, which is about the size of Mario 64. Exactly.
Yeah. The typical cartridge back in the day, a big cartridge back in the day, would have been 4. And a typical one, the smaller early ones were 1.
It's like 1. Yeah.
And this is 8. I think I remember I played Demons of Asterborg. That was similarly huge. So you can do a lot more, but you're still limited with the colors, and you still probably have to jump hurdles.
And like I didn't feel like it was like chugging at all. Like there was no like. It never had a hiccup for me. Like there was nothing that like R-Type is like played almost exclusively in slow mo because it like chugs immediately on Super Nintendo.
It really, it's now that I had my Donkey Kong Bonanza moment where I'm like, it doesn't take much for me to like unplug from a video game. And by the way, just a quick follow up. After we recorded that podcast segment, like literally the next morning we were playing, and I got Pauline like in like the next 10 seconds or something. I had to like get that disc and put it at the end. I was like, oh, you were right there. And then I got to go Bonanza or whatever the fuck. It's a cool game. I like the game. We just haven't had a lot of time to attack it. But Earthion really like pulled me in. Where like I popped it in just to be like, oh, let's play. And I was like, oh, come on, I can go to the next level. And it was like, this is really very much my speed. And like I said, I really don't like shmups generally. Oh yeah, that's another thing. If you get hit, you lose your shot level goes
yeah,
down.
your shot level goes down, so you have to collect the green dots. So there's a really cool give and take where you're
Exactly.
just risk reward. Like, do I go after the dot or do I like have a lower power? It's pretty good. The green dots, yeah.
Yeah, and it's worth the investment sometimes because you're going to be able to take down bigger enemies quicker. And yeah, that's a game, you know?
It's a good game.
That's what playing is. Bonuses between levels. So you can choose a bonus. Like, do I want an extra ship? Do I want an extra shot slot? You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, because you have to like almost sacrifice a slot of your weapon for those adaptation pods.
Yeah.
And then you have to finish with the adaptation pod. And then you get to have like an upgrade, which is nice.
Yeah, the music is incredible.
The music is incredible. And there's little cutscenes at the beginning and end, and that are really well done. Like some of the like anime stuff, or the anime girl, like you see like her like visors like got reflections on it. I'm like, this is so beautifully made.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's like one of the best Sega Genesis games ever made. I was trying to think. I was like, what are there any shmups that I kind of vibe with? And there were a few. Like, you ever play Gun Knack on NES?
No.
It's actually pretty fun. The thing about shmups on the NES is there are the graphical limitations make it a little bit easier. And in that game, there's like a lot going on visually.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of like got some like kind of crazy creatures in here too. Like a bunny tank or something.
Yeah. Totally, actually. I'm trying. What were the other like big shmups? There's like Legendary Wings for NES.
Yeah, I always liked even like the 1944 or 1942, those Capcom like World War II shooters, which is always really weird when you think about it, because it's a Japanese company making World War II shooters, and you're playing.
Like,
This must be a little embarrassing.
You know, Gradius, of course. You know, sure. Life Force. Yeah, I played that. That's fun, I suppose. Yeah, like I said, I think NES can be a little bit more fun because they tend to be a little bit simpler, but some of them are total bullshit. I played through one time. I beat Android Assault on the Sega CD.
Okay, yeah.
You know, just the Sega CD adds a really nice element because you have the CD soundtrack and you've got the verbal, the vocal human audio, which, by the way, how about that in this game?
Yeah, that has a ton of sound samples, which is love. I love these like compressed sounds.
Yeah. But they sounded pretty fucking clear.
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. Yeah, everything is just so clean in this game. Like,
it makes me think. I'm like, if they had been capable of manufacturing or distributing 8 megabyte carts back in the day or bigger, would there have been a need whatsoever for a Sega CD?
Yeah, probably not. But that's the N64 thing, where they kind of lost that generation because PlayStation had CDs, which have so much more space. So
yeah.
You could make much more interesting like FMV games, and
the music can be better for sure.
The music can be better, yeah.
Yeah. Like if this game was released as a Sega CD game, that's why I don't get it, man. Like, why not be developing games like this as ROMs? And you could make like a Sega CD one and release that as a ROM. People have these do people not have these EverDrives?
Yeah, the EverDrives are a big thing, Frankie. They're very big.
People have them, right? Like,
yeah.
And if not, like, you have emulators. I think like it's time to embrace the emulation world and be like, hey, like our ROM's $5 if you want it. You know, otherwise, if you want a cool collector's item, it's $30. You know, like.
And people will pay it. Like, I know they're like, oh, maybe everyone will download the thing. They're already downloading it.
If you make it $5, they'll pay for it. I bet
they'll pay for it. Yeah. Like, I pay for software all the time that, just because I want to reward the creator.
Yeah, isn't there's some theory about that? Like, there was a period of time there when before all the streaming platforms just turned into 17 of them, when Netflix had most of the movies, where like piracy went way down.
Yeah,
you just make it easy for people to get the thing that they need. I do think like separating all the media across so many platforms definitely, like, people start to just unplug. They're like, oh, fuck it. Maybe I don't really need to watch South Park that badly,
South Park, new episode Wednesday, August 6th at 10 on Comedy Central, and next day on Paramount Plus.
And what else? I like, remember, slip feed on the Sega CD. That I like any kind of gimmicky You know, that somewhat isometric one. What else? Oh, how about when you pause the game, it echoes the last sounds?
Oh,
Did you notice that?
I didn't really notice that.
It's really cool. Like, yeah, you just when you pause, it'll be like dun 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 dun. Easy mode's all I've ever asked for.
Yeah, easy. I've only played easy mode, and that's all.
It's
I'm gonna
all I've
play, really.
ever wanted from these fucking cool games that they release in 2025. And I don't understand why it's so common to make them way too hard. Sure, you can make a game too easy. Of course you can. That is a liability for your game. It's too easy. But I think that it's going to take a lot more. At least for us dads, you can make the game pretty easy. And we'll really enjoy it.
If this game was hard, I would have or hard was the default difficulty and there was nothing else to do. I would just play the first level and be like, oh, that was cool. And we would not even talk about it on the podcast.
There'd be very little to talk about. Yeah. What are some of the most famous, beloved, enduring video game franchises you can think of? And are any of them all that brutally hard? Some of them are. Souls games and whatever, but I'm thinking of the platformers, the Sonics, the Marios, the Zeldas. These are not super hard games.
Yeah. Well, even Jason was like, I can't even play Pokemons anymore because they're easy. It's like that's why they're popular, because they're accessible to most people. Well,
yes, Pokemon is easy, but wouldn't you say, certainly at the time it came out, and I don't know about now, but they're kind of rich games though, right? I mean,
there's a lot to master.
Yeah, and there's a lot to the imagination too. For a young kid, it's like, oh wow, the world of Pokemon's a cool world, and I want to inhabit it.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.